Have you ever thought IKEA is a little bit creepy late at night? Well, here's something to fuel that feeling. Hey everyone, it's Marianna, and let's talk about Horrorstör by Grady Hendrix. I think most of us have been to an IKEA store before. I mean, where do you think these bookshelves are from behind me? So the design of this novel may look a little bit familiar to you, and that's not a coincidence because Horrorstör is set in a furniture store, Horrorstör, which is very similar to IKEA. Except something is off about it. Lately, morning employees keep finding broken furniture, shattered glass, and general signs of someone being there through the night. So, a few employees step up to work some extra hours and patrol the empty store throughout the night in hopes of finding the culprit. The question is, can they survive the night? I have been in desperate search of a good horror novel lately, and what I found is that horror really isn't that easy to do when it comes to books. However, Horrorstör has definitely filled that void in my reading life lately. The first half of this novel is pretty harmless while it's establishing characters, with some odd things happening here and there. However, when it comes to the second half, things get progressively freakier. It actually ended up being more graphic and violent than I expected it to be. It even had me cringing a few times. So that, combined with the fact that I read this mostly at night, definitely made for a proper horror novel experience, which is exactly what I was looking for. And I think Horrorstör would actually make a pretty creepy horror film if anyone ever decided to adapt this into a movie, because it has a really good balance of humor and scares, which just seems perfect for the big screen. And the situation definitely gets pretty intense towards the end. Let's just say I won't be going to IKEA when it's dark anytime soon. I think anyone who has ever worked in retail would find this book interesting. The character types are spot on, and the dynamic between the employees definitely seems familiar. Personally, I found it pretty easy to relate to some of the thoughts that the main character, Amy, was having about her job and maybe even about her life. And also, there's a pretty clever parallel between working in retail and being at a correctional facility, which I think some people will find pretty relatable. What I also loved about Horrorstör is its excellent presentation and book design. As you can see, it already looks kind of like an IKEA catalog, complete with a map and an order form. Every chapter starts with a description of an item sold in the store that has something to do with the chapter, but as you get further into the book, these catalog items get increasingly weirder and creepier. All of this, combined with the book itself being pretty short and the story being well paced, makes Horrorstör the perfect spooky read for the season. Personally, I love when a book like this goes for the complete experience and has the presentation match the story. I think it makes it more fun to read, which is ultimately what you're going for here. So I was never bored reading this. I flew through this, and that makes it really easy for me to give Horrorstör 5 out of 5 stars. Of course, this is not the next literary masterpiece, and that's not what this book is going for. I think the goal here was to be fun, spooky, and unique, and I think Horrorstör definitely ticks all of those boxes while not taking itself too seriously. That's it for my review of Horrorstör by Grady Hendrix. Let me know if you guys read this book already and what did you think, and also let me know what was the last good horror novel that you read that was not Stephen King, because a lot of people are going to go for Stephen King, so let's just take that out of the equation because I definitely need more horror novels to read right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the full playlist of my 13 days of Halloween that I have linked in the info box below, and I hope you're having an awesome day. I will see you tomorrow with my next video. Bye!